All right, here we are with Desmos. I said I was going to use Khan Academy. I don't know where that came from. I'm really using Desmos. This is a Desmos graph. This is a sine curve. I can see it going up and down, up and down. And it goes on forever and ever. I see more than one period here. Now look at this. If I ask him what the value is, right there, it's pi over 2, comma 1. That means when x is pi over 2, when theta is pi over 2, the value of the sine is 1. If I ask it here, when it's 0.63, all right, that would be a radian measure of 0.63, and the sine would be 0.589. All along here, these are the answers, all the answers for the sine curve. All right, the cosine curve is very similar. Yesterday you picked that one up. The cosine, though, goes from 1 to 0 to negative 1 to 0 to 1. Okay. Now notice that that happens at 5 here, because this is where it's 3 pi over 2. These lines are messing us up here, right? They're actual lines. When I did mine, I approximated around 3. This is 3 pi over 2. This will be over here at around this one at 2 pi. All right, so that's roughly 6, right? But it's hard to see that, all right? But it's roughly the number 6. Okay, now looking at this curve, I have an amplitude of 1 because the center of the wave, the axis of the wave, or the midline of the wave is this line y equals 0. And from here it goes up 1 and down 1. Up 1 and down 1. If I have, I've lost my thing here. Okay, if I take that off, here's another, this is a sine curve also, but what has changed is the axis of the wave. The axis of the wave now has moved from y equals 0 to right here, y equals 1. But the amplitude hasn't changed. It's still 1 up, 1 down from the axis of the wave, from the midline of the wave. Okay, here's another one. The midline of the wave has moved down. It's now down at negative 2. But the amplitude is still the same. It goes up 1 and down 1 from the midline of the wave. Wow, look at this one. This one stretches out further. The midline of the wave, it's right here, y equals 0. What's the amplitude? Well, it goes up here. Desmos says it goes up to 3. Up to 3, down to negative 3. So from the midline of the wave, it goes up 3 and down 3. And what about the period? The period is the picture of all the answers until it repeats. So if I start here, I go up here, down here, and this is where it starts to repeat at 2 pi. So the period is still 2 pi. Okay, what about this guy? I'm doing everything visual today. Tomorrow we'll go back to the equation. The equations are going to look like this guy. All right, the equations are going to be complicated. But for now, we're going to just do the visual graph themselves. Oh, where's this axis gone? The midline of this wave is up here, right? Midline of this wave is up at 3. And what's the amplitude? Well, from the 3, it goes up 2 and down 2. What's the period? Starts here. This one starts to repeat here. Desmos says at 2 pi. So the period has not changed. The period is still 2 pi. Okay, get rid of that. Oh, now look at this one. It's just a 1/2. So 1/2. Here's the middle of the wave, the axis of the wave. And where is it? It's way up here at 4. The midline goes through 4. Y equals 4 is the midline of this wave. And how far up and down it goes? Just 1/2, right? This is at 4.49. I can't quite there, 4.5. So it goes 1/2 up and 1/2 down. So the midline is at y equals 4. That's the midline of the wave. The amplitude is 1/2 up, 1/2 down. 1/2 is the midline. And one more, and that's this one. And this is, let's see, wow, where's this one going? The midline of this wave has gone down to here, I think, right? That's the middle. Y equals -2. The midline is -2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the middle of this wave, the midline of this wave, it goes 5 up and 5 down. That means the amplitude is 5. Okay, so we have midline, amplitude. What about period? Well, if I start here, I would go from here to here, and that's where it starts over. So it starts over at, I can't quite do there. It's 6.33. Well, it's really 2 pi. If this were marked differently, you'd see the 2 pi better. Okay, but it is 2 pi. 6.3, 6.28, right, would be 2 times what we think of as pi. So it won't stop there. All right, you're going to go to Delta Math, and you have 3 assignments in Delta Math, and it's about amplitude, midline, and period. All right, so I think that the visual will be done by the time you finish those Delta Maths completely. All right, so you got 3 Delta Maths assignments, and I hope everything becomes clearer to you now.